That night is still carved into my memory. The night when I first felt that something inside my house was not right. That the destruction in our family wasn't coincidence. It was connected to a shadow, a curse, a spiritual suffocation that had seeped into our very blood. When I entered the house, the silence was unnatural. My mother was sitting in the courtyard near an oil lamp, her eyes red as if she had been crying for hours. I didn't ask anything, because in our family, things were always buried, hidden, silenced, left to rot in dark corners. That night, I smelled the same strange odor that once used to fill our old home, the smell of old blood, wet soil, and something non-human. Aisha was locked inside her room. I knocked, but there was no answer. When I gently pushed the door, I found her sitting on the bed, holding her head in her hands, rocking slowly. I called softly. She didn't speak. She tightened her grip on her own head, as if fighting an internal monster. I sat beside her, but she instantly pushed my hand away. "Don't sit there. He's watching." I immediately scanned the room. It was empty, but the air was alive, heavy, cold, breathing. "Who is watching?" I asked quietly. She leaned closer, her hands trembling, her voice cracked. "He has come back. The one who destroyed this house." A cold shiver ran down my spine. This wasn't the first time she said something like this, but tonight, the terror in her eyes was real. I tried to calm her. "It's just your imagination. There's no one." Before I could finish, the bulb suddenly flickered and went out. Complete darkness swallowed us, and then, in the corner of the room, something moved. My breath froze. A shadow, small at first, then slowly growing, stretching beyond human height, and it was breathing like a wounded animal. Aisha screamed. I stepped in front of her. My legs were shaking, but I knew if I ran, she wouldn't survive. That shadow slowly started taking shape, a twisted body, without a face, as if someone had torn its face off. I didn't see it. I felt it looking at me. Then, it moved closer, and the room filled with a horrible stench, rotting flesh, grave soil, and blood, the same smell that had filled our old home years ago, the same smell on the night my uncle died. I forced myself to speak. "Who are you?" It didn't answer. It leaned closer, and blew a freezing, poisonous breath straight into my face. Aisha cried out, "This is him. Our curse. Our destruction. The shadow tied to our blood." The shadow stepped back, then dissolved into the darkness. Aisha collapsed and cried on the floor. "He didn't die even after death. He has come to take our blood." My voice trembled. "Who?" she whispered. "Uncle." The window banged violently. Wind rushed inside like a storm, as if someone was trying to break in. When I looked through the door crack, my soul left my body. Someone was there, not standing, but hanging near the ceiling, his neck twisted unnaturally, eyes wide open, blood dripping from his lips. He slowly turned his broken head toward me. Aisha whispered behind me, "This is just the beginning. His death didn't kill him, it freed him. Now he has come for revenge." The door opened on its own. He floated inside, and the entire room fell into darkness. That night was not the beginning of our life. It was the beginning of a revenge written in our blood. The moment the door opened on its own, it felt as if the entire house held its breath. From the darkness, that twisted, hanging figure slowly bent into the room. My uncle, who had been dead and buried for years, was now in front of us, or rather, looming over us. Aisha was behind me, frozen. Her scream was stuck in her throat, her hands digging into my arm. That creature, my uncle's shadow, moved closer, but his feet weren't touching the ground. He was crawling through the air, bending his arms in impossible angles, as if he wasn't wearing his own body, but someone else's skin. I heard a whisper in my ear, "You stole my right. This house, this blood, buried me before death." My chest tightened. I remembered the night our family expelled him, calling him a black magician, a curse. We never asked for the truth. We simply listened, believed, and abandoned a human being. Now he had returned to settle everything. His crooked neck cracked into place with a loud snap, and it felt like the room itself ripped open. He didn't scream. The house screamed. Frames shook. The floor turned cold. Doors slammed. Lights died one by one. Aisha grabbed my hand. "We have to leave now." We ran through the hallway, but every door, every window shut on its own. The house itself was trapping us down the stairs. The stench returned violent and suffocating. Aisha stumbled. I pulled her up, but when we reached the hall, he was already there, standing before us, waiting, smiling that rotten, dead smile. Aisha collapsed. What did we do? Why kill us? The shadow froze. "I never wanted you, but you carry the same blood. The blood that buried me alive." His rage was silent, but deafening. Suddenly I remembered the letter my mother once burned. A letter from Uncle that had said, "The truth will swallow you after I'm gone." Darkness swallowed the house. Our breaths vanished. Our heartbeat faded. Then I heard my mother's distant voice recite the Quran. "Its words will burn him." My body trembled, but I recited Surah Al-Fatiha. The shadow stepped back. Another step. His face cracked, burning from inside. Aisha recited aloud. The walls trembled. The wind fought the darkness. He screamed, a scream that burst my ears. He lunged at us, but every verse scorched him. His face melted, his fingers twisted. His eyes turned into emptiness, and then he exploded into a cloud of darkness. Silence. Aisha fell against me. We were shaking uncontrollably. The house was no longer a home, just ashes, fear, and memories. We walked toward the door. It was open now, as if someone had released it. When we looked back one last time, a shadow was standing on the stairs, faint, like mist. It didn't look at us, just bowed its head, as if accepting defeat. Then it slowly lifted upward and disappeared. We left the house that night, forever. But sometimes, Aisha wakes up screaming. He was only one, but his curse still lives in our blood. The story ends. If you enjoyed this true horror story, hit like and subscribe for more terrifying story. If your heart is still beating, you're not alone.